The XFL-USFL marriage is finally official, but with any transaction, you have winners and you have losers. Let's take a look at the 3 winners and 3 losers from the merger. Plus, we'll look back to see if some of the predictions we had hit the mark.
Winner, the Houston Roughneck fan base. Now, there was a lot of talk after the initial merger announcement that the Houston Gamblers would make the cut and the Roughnecks would be a victim of the cross-market merger. The UFL decided to make it a compromise here and keep both, kind of, by rebranding the Gamblers as the Roughnecks and hopefully cashing in on an already established fan base. Loser, Anthony Blevens. He left his job as an assistant special teams coach with the New York Giants to become head coach of the Vegas Vipers. When the Vipers were eliminated in the merger, Blevens was left without a team to coach. Blevens has a background in alt football where he was a player in the Regional Football League, Arena Football 2, and the original XFL. Winner, Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson. It felt as if the reported $60 million loss for the XFL in 2023 was the initial reason for a merger with the USFL, and it very well could have been. But, from a perspective of some that the XFL needed help from the more stable USFL, it sure seems as if Garcia and Johnson are more on the forefront of the new UFL, both making appearances on ESPN to announce the merger details, and former XFL president and CEO Russ Brandon, he's taking the same role in the UFL. What sounded as if this was going to be a USFL dominant league has, at the very least, appeared to be at the very least a 50-50 split in terms of control. Loser, Orlando Guardians head coach Terrell Buckley. He had spoken to the Orlando Sentinel back in August about how he was revamping his one-win team for the new season and possibly making what he said could be a 65 to 70% change in the coaching staff. Unfortunately for Buckley, the Guardians are 100% finished, at least for now. There's hope that if the UFL is successful in 2024, a possible expansion would bring the Guardians back to life. According to the Sentinel, the Guardians averaged about 12,000 fans, including in its 5 home games. The team also averaged 607,000 viewers during its 10 broadcasts on ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and FX. Before we get to the final winner and loser, just a reminder that Royal Retros is working with the United Football League on merchandise, and they already have a huge selection of t-shirts and more from the leagues of yesteryear. Use code JLS to get 10% off your order at royalretros.com. Now, the final winner and loser from the merger. Winner, John DeFilippo. The head coach of the New Orleans Breakers caught some hearts and fans with his emotional return to coaching in 2023. He suffers from a rare condition that affects his spine and other joints, and he was told by 2 different doctors that he may never walk without assistance again. Well, DeFilippo, without any assistance, ran onto the field in 2023, and he really appreciated the experience. He led the Breakers to a 7-3 record. Well, the Breakers are no more, but DeFilippo is now the head coach of the Memphis Showboats. Loser, Canton, Ohio. The USFL leaned into history in its second season by not only recognizing records of the original USFL franchises, but going a step further and creating a hub in Canton. While there was no Canton franchise, the hub was home to the New Jersey Generals and Pittsburgh Maulers, who also went the way of the Canton hub. There was some hope that one of those franchises would be rebranded as a Canton team, but that is not happening for the 2024 season.
Back in October, I posted a video with some predictions of what would happen if and when this merger finally happened. Let's see how the participants did.
Some of you might remember that rumor about how the new league was going to be called the National Spring Football League. Pro Football Newsroom's James Larson predicted that the rumors were true, but other names were definitely in play. Well, he nailed that one, I think luckily for all spring football fans. Reed Johnson from the Markcast predicted Daryl Johnston would take over as head of football operations for the UFL, the same role he had with the USFL. And Reed was right on the money with that one. My predictions? Okay, I missed on the new league being 10 teams, and the other 2 predictions, well, we'll have to see if that happens in 2024. I do think because of the shift to Fox, FS1, ABC, and ESPN, and hopefully these games not airing on some of those lesser channels, that the ratings for the new league will surpass some of the highest we've seen in 2022 or 2023. I thought the USFL and XFL fan bases will have a rivalry comparable with the old school AFL versus NFL rivalry in those early days of the merger. Those kind of still resonate today. We'll see if that happens.
Fun times ahead, maybe, for spring football. If nothing else, it will be interesting. If you like this video, then I hope you'll subscribe to the channel for all things alt football.